In this video, I'm going to show us how to once again go to our H drive to open up our Sketchup file. It should be underneath our 7th grade design and modeling folder, or up here if you did not make a folder. Mine now is labeled our hour, followed by our login, followed by CO2 or Co2 Car. That should be the way we name this so we know whose file it is or what file it is. Double click it to open it up. It does take a little time. From here we can just hit start using Sketchup. To get things started right away today, what I'm doing is I'm going to be showing you where your axle holes go in your model, or where we can lay those out. So scrolling in, scrolling out, I'm going to start by right away going to the camera. Standard view is front. I want to be in the front view while I'm doing this. And I'm going to get rid of my guides that I had earlier. So I'm going to go and do an edit. Delete guides is an easy way to delete all the guides that you made earlier that it could be a little distracting. Now, the next thing is going to your tape measure tool, going along the red axis on the base of our car. We're going to click with the hook and then slide up. Type in the data of 7 and hit enter. That 7 millimeters is where our axle holes will exist from the base of our car. The other part is from the front of our car and from the back of our car, we can be anywhere from 9 millimeters to 50 millimeters. So coming in, what that looks like is if I come in and I click, this is 9, enter, and this is 50, enter. So it can be anywhere in between those two lines. From the front, this is what it looks like. So going from this front edge, clicking, sliding over, 9, and then 50. Anywhere between those spaces. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to decide where I want this to go. And I'm going to kind of go about part of the way. So I'm going to go in between. So anywhere from 9 to 50, I'm going to go 15 on my back edge. Hit enter. That's my middle line I have back here to create my axle hole. And on the front edge, I'm going to go a little further back. So instead of 15, we're going to go 25. And like I said, it can be anywhere in between 9 to 50. So now both my middle lines are the part where I'm going to make my holes. Now, reminder, in order to make our holes and actually be able to push-pull them, we have had to double-click into our model. Now that we have this dotted edge going around, we are able to do edits. So now I'm going into my model. I'm going into the circle tool. I'm going to come over, zoom in to my middle intersection there. I'm going to click. One of the things that's a good habit, even though it doesn't affect this model, is sliding straight up or straight out, and then typing in our radius. And the diameter is 4 millimeters, so our radius is 2. So enter 2, enter. There's our back axle hole. In the front axle hole, the same thing. Make sure we're on the intersection. I'm not sure why I'm not getting an intersection there, so I'm going to make one more set of guidelines by going to the front view here, clicking and sliding over. Should be at 25, and then one more time trying those holes. And for some reason I'm not getting the intersection, so one more time doing my tape measure from the bottom, 7 millimeters up. And now, third time's a charm, or second time's a charm, we go over this, we should get an intersection. I'm not sure why we're not right now. Oh, because I don't have the guideline on the front, it's on the back. So now that I've orbited a little bit, third time, sliding down at that 25, clicking. Still not putting it where I want it to be though. It's weird, I have one in the back and one in the front. So, trying from the backhand edge. Going down here and lining up my piece. I was at 300, so it should be 275 from the back. Now I have it in the right portion. There's my intersection. I'm not sure why that was so complicated and difficult, but I'll try to figure it out. Now, notice I didn't quit. I tried numerous attempts. So going here, clicking, sliding straight up or straight out, and entering 2. Enter. Now, we have our locations for our cuts to happen. One of the things we can do right now is, once again, we can go to Edit, Delete Guides, so we don't need them any longer. And it got rid of almost all my guides besides the ones that weren't in my model. I can delete those later. And the next thing I'm doing is making sure that we have the dotted line on the outside, push-pull tool, clicking on the front, and then go to the backhand edge and clicking one more time. Same thing in our back axle. Clicking on the front, clicking on the back edge. Now, if I go camera, standard views, front, and I look straight down, there is nothing in between. If I orbit a little bit, you can see that hollowed out 4 millimeter diameter, 2 millimeter radius for our axle holes. Thank you for watching the video. Always end with a file, save as. If you haven't named it yet, you can rename it now. Mine's named fine, so I'm just going to click save. And I'm going to hit yes because it asked me if I want to replace it. I do want it to update. If you just do a file save, because you know you've named it the right way name, it won't ask you for that update. Thank you for watching. Good luck.